So let's start with the task 1. The task 1 is activating the web server in Siemens S7-1200, which is actually quite easy. All you have to do is you have to start a project in your TIA portal and add the Siemens PLC in your devices and network. You can see your PLC here. So I'm using CPU 1212C. This is the model. And just go to its properties, or you can just go here and then you will see a lot of properties here. So just go to web server. So when you are at the web server, you just have to make sure this is activated. This is the first step. You have to tick this one. This will activate web server on all modules of this device. So if it has more modules, it will activate for those as well. But I don't have any module. This is a standalone PLC, so it will activate. This is the second option, which says permit access only using HTTP. Now HTTP is a secure. If you uncheck this one, you can only use HTTP without S. So you can click this one. This is more secure. All right. Then you have automatic update. If you want to make sure that your web server is updating the values automatically, you can do that here. Otherwise, you can specify the interval here. Okay, that's one of the options. Next, you have user management. Now this is very important, because in web server there are many different things which a user can do, and you can actually assign a user ID and password, and you can give it to different users so that you can define their role. For example, if I say administrative, the name is everybody, access level is administrative, and if I check this one, you have so many authorities. For example, query diagnostic, read tags, write tags, read status, write tag status, open user-defined web page, write in user-defined web page, and so on. So there are so many different properties which you can define to a certain user. So for example, there is another user named admin, and its access level is restricted because it cannot do everything but few things. Okay, and you can also define the password for everybody and password for admin as well. So this is the next option you have to see in your web server. So what I can do is you can just leave it default and make it administrative so that everybody can use everything. Okay, or if you want, you can also make it, but it's totally up to you. Then you have some watch table. I will keep it open because I don't have any watch tables in my web server. I can also define some watch tables. For example, if I see a watch table here, this is watch table 1. So maybe I can say, okay, I want to see watch table 1, and access is read or read write, that you can also define in your web server. So you can basically define which tags you want to read, and that you can define in the watch table. This is another option. Then you can come down and you see user-defined web page. Now suppose you have an interactive web page in which you are defining the values not only by tag, but you are showing some animations, you are showing some gauges. In that case, you can make a user-defined web page. You can define your own web page, so with showing some animation. So in that case, you have to specify the directory where your web page is located in your computer. So this is the directory. So what will happen, PLC will check the web page directory, and it will check for the web page which is inside it. So here it is, index.html, and you have to specify that application name. So what it will do when you define these things, for example, I have my project in this directory task2, and I have my default HTML page as index.html, and I want to name it as task2. After that, you have to click on generate blocks. So what will happen, we will do that in the further task. When you generate the blocks, it will generate DB of your web page. So if your web page is, let's suppose, index.html, it will generate a data block of that, and that data block comes here. For example, in web server, in system block, web server, you will see these DBs. So these DBs are generated because of your project inside it. So we'll see that a bit later. And then in the advanced, you can see dynamic content. Dynamic content means in which your content is changing. So what are the extensions? So if I'm using HTML or HTML or more formats, I have to specify here. Okay, WebDB number 333. This is the number you specify, and that will specify which DB it should take. Because if you're already using this DB, then it will be a confliction. And fragment DB start number 334 is the next DB. I will explain you what is that when we do the next task of Hello World. So this number generally comes automatically, or you can also check it. If this conflicts with your older DB in the program, you can change that. Doesn't matter. Numbering doesn't care much about that. And then if you come down, you have the PLC, which is used for web server access. Okay. All right, this is the settings. You have to make sure this all is enabled, and then you have to download this in your PLC program. That's it. That is the first step. You have to enable your web server. All right. In the next video, we will see how to display a simple hello world on our PLC. So the task 1 was web server. This is a small example of the slide. In the task 2, we will see how to make a hello world displaying coming from your PLC. So stay tuned. See you in the next video.